to the fourth session of the Committee on Finance, and today is March 3rd, 2015. It's approximately 9:50, and the meeting is taking place in Hilo at the Chambers, but I'm here in Kona doing a remote video conference, so bear with me. Thank you. I think all council members or all committee members are here, but I'll just check. I believe in Hilo I have Mr. Onishi and Miss Willie and Mr. Chung, and I can't see Mr. Kanuha. Oh, there he is. Okay. And Ms. Poindexter and Mr. Paleka, and I believe I see Mr. Iligan. And I have Miss David here in Kona with me. So, and I'm the chair of this committee, Karen Eoff. So I'll call our meeting to order at this time, and I'm going to check with the outer sites if there are any testifiers. In Kohala, do you have any testifiers?
Aloha, Chair. I have one testifier for your committee.
Thank you. And in Waimea, do we have any testifiers?
Good morning, Chair. We do not have any testifiers for your committee.
Thank you. And in Ka'u?
Good morning, Madam Chair. We have no testifiers, but we do have two people that want to listen.
Okay, great. Thank you. And in Pahoa?
Good morning, Madam Chair. We have no testifiers for your committee today.
Okay, thank you. And in Hilo, do you have any testifiers there?
Good morning, Madam Chair. We have two testifiers in Hilo.
Okay, can you bring those testifiers up? And in the meantime, I'll take the testifier from Kohala.
I'd like to introduce Dylan Trumpy, who's here to make a comment on communication number 138 regarding ethics, representing himself. Please state your name.
If I didn't mention it before, testifiers have 3 minutes.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Dylan Trumpy, and I am testifying in relation to Communication 138, nomination of Kenneth Goodenow to Board of Ethics. I hope to raise awareness of unethical behavior perpetrated by employees of the County of Hawaii. On December 25th, 2011, 4 firemen and 2 police officers came to my home and made repeated terroristic threats against me and my family. 2 firemen made illegal video recordings of me and my family on their personal cell phones. 1 fireman drove a fire department vehicle into my family's garden, vandalizing our private property. The police and firemen involved had no legitimate purpose being at my home and loitered for over an hour. I felt threatened by their rude and aggressive behavior.
Excuse me, point of order. What are you testifying on? Which I'm just kind of confused.
Thank you, Ms. Poindexter. I was just about to let this testifier know that you need to stick to the topic on the agenda, which is the appointment of Mr. Goodenow to the Board of Ethics. So the testimony that you're providing right now is not germane to the subject matter.
It is related to ethics, and I hope to raise awareness of unethical behavior perpetrated by employees of the County of Hawaii.
But this topic, there may be another point in time for that. This is about an appointment to the Board of Ethics, not regarding how county employees behave in other situations.
It's related to ethics. What is your basis for discriminating against my right to free speech?
You have the right to free speech, but our rules require that you testify on an agenda item. So let me just take a recess and check with our court counsel to get clarification, okay? Because normally our rules require that you would speak on this agenda item, not in a general sense about ethics, okay?
This is related to the agenda item.
I see where you're going, but let me just check.
Can I?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Take a brief recess.
We'll be ready to come back.
I'd like to call the meeting back to order if we're ready on Hilo side. Are we ready, Mr. Clerk?
You ready? Jeanette? Ready. Okay, we're ready to go.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Trumpy, I'd like to apologize for stopping your time. And I did check with our corporation counsel, and I'm going to provide you the leeway to speak on the topic of ethics. And I see the relationship. And but thank you, Ms. Poindexter, for calling a point of order so I could get the clarification. But we'll start your time again, and you can go ahead.
Please state your name again for the record, please.
Okay, ready? Okay. My name is Dylan Trumpy, and I am testifying in relation to Communication 138, nomination of Kenny Goodenow to Board of Ethics. I hope to raise awareness of unethical behavior perpetrated by employees of the County of Hawaii. On December 25th, 2011, 4 firemen and 2 police officers came to my home and made repeated terroristic threats against me and my family. 2 firemen each made illegal video recordings of me and my family on their personal cell phones. 1 fireman drove a fire department vehicle into my family's garden, vandalizing our private property. The police and firemen involved had no legitimate purpose being at my home and loitered for over an hour. I felt threatened by their rude and aggressive behavior. On December 27, 2011, I was assaulted by 3 on-duty firemen at the North Kohala Fire Station. I had gone there to file a complaint concerning being threatened on December 25th. The firemen were again rude and hostile, pursuing me to my car, where they surrounded me before attacking. The police involved in this case distributed false and misleading information to the news media. After not allowing me to testify or to file a police report in a timely manner after being the victim of a crime, the police hid or destroyed a police report that I filed in February of 2012. On April 20th, 2014, 3 police officers came to my home and threatened to kill me in front of my family. This demonstrates a long-term pattern of misconduct. The First Amendment of the United States Constitution protects my right to freedom of speech. I am not aware of any law that would prevent me from speaking regarding my concerns at the County Council's public testimony. I hope that Kenny Goodenow has been made aware of the pattern of misconduct and unethical behavior perpetuated by the County of Hawaii employees.
Is that it?
That's it.
Thank you for your testimony.
Thank you very much. Hilo, do you have your 2 testifiers?
Yes, Madam Chair. Our first testifier is Mr. Dwight Vicente, who's speaking on Resolution 91-15.
Good morning. My name is Dwight Vicente. I'm representing the Hawaiian Kingdom. Resolution 91-15. It says in here, County of Hawaii owned lands. That's false. Lands here in this kingdom is either designated crown or government lands. If you was to do a title search, you'd find that the lands was never transferred from the Hawaiian Kingdom to the provisional, the republic, the territory, or even the state of Hawaii. And there is no public lands here. Public lands are under Article 5 of the Northwest Ordinance of 1787. That's not here, and that's not in one of the 13 states or Washington, D.C. So to call the land public lands is leaning towards fraud right there. With that, I'll end with the reservation of the rights of this kingdom under the Queen's Protest of January 17, 1893 against U.S. Minister Stevens. It has yet to make its way to the U.S. Supreme Court, Article 3, Section 2, Clause 2, original but limited jurisdiction, only over U.S. Minister Stevens and his unlawful acts. And the other one is the Reciprocity Treaty of 1876, which the United States contracted between United States of America and the Hawaiian Kingdom. That treaty violated the U.S. Constitution because it's based on the Northwest Ordinance of 1787. It is based on colonialism, and that treaty is not authorized under the U.S. Constitution. That has to be taken to the U.S. District Court in Washington, D.C. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next testifier, please.
Our next testifier is Mr. Dan Cole, speaking regarding Communication 138.
Good morning, Council. I come before you speaking in comment to the appointment of Mr. Kenneth Goodenow to the Hawaii County Board of Ethics. I bring forth information for your consideration and for the consideration of Mr. Goodenow, should his appointment be made, and he will sit in judgment on reference to petition number 2014-08. That being said, I bring forth this information in accordance with and required by United States Code, Section 18, Subsection 4, misprision of felony, being presented to a civil authority in the United States of actual knowledge and evidence cognizable by a court under the United States of violation of state and federal law. Should Mr. Goodenow be appointed to the Hawaii County Board of Ethics with his background as former county clerk, head of the elections department, and as an attorney, thereby an officer of the court, he is bound by the statutes to bring forth knowledge he has. I read to you Hawaii Revised Statutes, Chapter 707, Offense Against the Person, 707-764, Extortion. Extortion, a person commits extortion if the person does any of the following: obtains or exerts control over the property, labor, or services of another with the intent to deprive another of property, labor, or services by threatening by word or conduct to, subsection I, do any other act that would not in itself substantially benefit the defendant, but is calculated to harm substantially some person with respect to their threatened person's health, safety, business, calling, financial conditions, reputation, or personal relationships. Section I of that statute, as a public official, take or withhold action as a public servant, or to cause a public servant to take or withhold action. That being said, it's in the record. Petition 2014-08 was filed in reference to the ethics complaint filed against Emily Naoli in order to cause her embarrassment and impugn her reputation before the public, that it was printed in the paper of the Hawaii Tribune Herald as article.
You have 30 seconds.
Cook lawyer. I request extension due to the nature of this petition. And for the AP Press, the action was an extortion in violation of the federal laws. Mr. Goodenow will have to present a vote, and my petition is being denied hearing as they have no quorum. Once they have quorum, the persons involved in the complaint will no longer be in the county, and therefore the county has no control, therefore depriving a person of their First Amendment rights.
Your time is up.
To petition the government in grievance. I will remain here for any questions later.
Okay. Are there any other testifiers in any of the sites before I close public testimony? Hearing none. We'll go on to communications. Mr. Clerk, can you please read communications?